at HSN and you're seeing this incredible gentleman for the very first time. He is a 6th generation carver. He has been creating gorgeous cameos for over 6 generations. And when you think, or his family, I should say, his family has, but you are looking at an award-winning fine jewelry designer, whether it's his stores, his boutiques in Capri or New York City, the socialites, the celebrities around the world adore his creations. And that's what we really love. When we look to AMEDEO, we look for something distinctive, something one of a kind, that you know you're not gonna see yourself coming and going. From Vogue to Elle to all the top magazines feature his works of art. And they're all hand carved. No two will ever be alike. And I think what's so exciting, AMEDEO, about you is that you have this unique interpretation and vision of how you take century past techniques and bring modern day technology together and modern day looks to still make these cameos current and fresh. You know, Robin, I was just like discussing this with a journalist, a writer from the New York Times who came to interview me in Torre del Greco. Yes. And on December 5th, there's going to be a beautiful story in the paper. And, you know, it's a long tradition. It's a family tradition. But my job was to evolve that tradition. That's my place in my family history, in my legacy. I couldn't just like keep selling what we've been doing for 6 generations. I preserve that tradition. I preserve the heritage. I preserve the technique. But then in order to make it relevant in today's world, I had to redesign, rethink, revolutionize the cameo so that it could apply to a jewelry choice for the woman of today. And I think that's what I did, and that's why it's so successful. So for example, look at this ring. It's a classic cameo. It's classically made cameo, traditionally made cameo, but then all of a sudden has a little spin in the dimensions, in the proportions, in the choice of the design that makes it contemporary, that makes it cool. A girl 18 years old could wear these and going out on Saturday night, or you know, a chic lady in her 60s would wear it and going to a luncheon with her friends. So that made it possible to be successful and to bring this incredible tradition and my family history into the next generation, into the next phase. So I really hope you appreciate that. You appreciate the value of craftsmanship. You appreciate the value of Italian tradition, Italian quality, a family tradition. So when you buy it, you're supporting family businesses. You're not supporting giant conglomerates. You're wearing something that comes from a small company, a relatively small company in today's world, you know, something that's been in our family for generations, and the whole family works in it. So I really hope that you appreciate that and you want to be part of this story. Well, you want to be part of it. And AMEDEO, I think that when you wear the pieces, you have this great energy within them. I totally believe it. Yeah, I see, me too. I'm a little bit of a medium. So I believe in energy. I really believe that, you know, everything gives it as an energy. There's a positive energy, a negative energy. And if something is made from the beginning, a fisherman in Africa collect the shells. The carver in Torre del Greco, that makes it because he loves making jewelry, not because it's his job. He's not looking at his watch and when he's going to finish, you know, what time is it? He's a carver, and he's been a carver for 30 years, 40 years. I have carvers who are 80 years old. They're still carving, and they've been doing it for 60 years, 70 years. So you have to understand that all this is good energy from us to you. And when you wear it, that energy will reflect on you. Yeah, and I think here you're getting to see such great visuals to show you the artistry, how labor-intensive and intricate this design process is. Salvatore preparing the cameos on the stick, and then this is Francesco, whose last name is as mine, Scognamiglio, and carving these beautiful pieces at his bench. He doesn't care what I do with the cameos. He doesn't care where they sell. He sits at the bench and starts his week and say, I'm going to carve a scene from the Bible. I'm going to carve some flowers. I want to make some beautiful butterflies. So he just creates. That's art. It's his vision. That's the priority of an artist. Do whatever they want. And then it's my job to put that in perspective and say, we'll make beautiful earrings out of this. So here's what we're going to do. I know many of you are calling in on this ring, big, bold. If you are in any point in your life where you're going through a transformation, you know, when we look at butterflies, it's that transformation. It's this new life, this rebirth. It's the lowest price we've ever offered on this ring. Sizes 6 through 10 are available. 478235 is your item number. We want to give you a sneak peek of something that's still to come.